All right, all right, all right. Okay, let's see who jumps in. We'll give it a few minutes. I'm not.
You on Wi-Fi?
Huh?
Or
Am I on Wi-Fi? Yeah. Does it look bad?
yeah, because it's kind of choppy a little bit. You have the Ethernet. You may want to plug that in if you want. So it'll be
No,
a
I
good
don't,
connection.
unfortunately.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, we'll make it work.
Okay. The thing is, I just won't move too much. Just
Okay.
talk like this. No animation whatsoever.
Not yet.
Okay, cool. We got people in the chat. Well, welcome, everyone. Welcome to Red Pill Rage. It's a rage party. It is Friday the 13th. Yes, I got my Friday the 13th $31 tattoo tonight. Got an amazing job done. Let me show it to you guys. Yes.
Oh, nice.
I'm here to be the breaker of chains. Spiritual chains, emotional chains, political chains, breakers of chains. Damn straight. I am your Khaleesi tonight, but I don't have the blonde wig. That's back in Oakland. All right, everyone. Tonight's guest, I'm a huge fan of. Like, seriously, this guy is like, in certain ways, he's like the big brother I've always wanted. He's just so clear thinking and unimpressed with the bullshit. You know, and he's kind of, I think he's kind of a sci-fi geek. He might be. He makes references sometimes that I pick up on. He is such an intellectual. He's so funny, and he's a little tiny bit of an asshole, which I like. You know, he's his own man. He's his own man. He's a father. He's an entrepreneur. He's been a hard worker his whole life. He's a lover. He's a fighter. He believes in the American dream, and he's here to fight for it. He has an amazing YouTube channel where he talks about everything from love and romance and marriage to politics to transhumanism. He goes deep. Anyway, I would like to welcome you all. Welcome, GYNUWYNE.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
I'm great. It's good to have you here.
Thanks for having me on.
I've been fanning on you for a while. We have a mutual fan named Brandon, and I think we both know who he is. He told me about you a few weeks ago. And I would say outside of Young Pharaoh, I would liken you to Young Pharaoh, but you even talk about even more subjects than he does. I mean, and Young Pharaoh talks about everything.
Yeah.
But you're also, you got a little Jericho Green in you, and I would say you even got a little bit of Red Pill Rage in you.
I would agree. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be on.
But I don't say that because you're black.
I hope not.
we don't play identity politics on this channel.
Right.
I say it because you're super fun, but you're super smart. And not sometimes, but oftentimes the things that you say are painfully true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's rough sometimes.
Yeah, life is rough. Well, you know, we got to go through it. You know what I mean? It makes us better people.
Absolutely.
Better people. So that's what's up.
I think iron sharpens iron.
Exactly. I totally agree with you.
Cool. So, GYNUWYNE, I'm going to let you have the floor for a couple minutes. Before we get into talking about politics, I want you to actually start by telling everyone about your YouTube channel and, you know, tell them more of the subjects, give them more of a broad overview, kind of.
Sure. So, yep. So my name is GYNUWYNE. I pretty much got my start on YouTube with Solo TV 84. Some of you guys may have heard of him. We're based out of Minnesota. I did a couple of live streams with him back in like late 2017, early 2018. And then he pretty much suggested that I would start my own YouTube channel because I had a lot of insight, knowledge, and things like that. So I was like, sure, why not? And I did it. You know what I mean? And I just took off. from there. And I just been, going hard in the paint, talking about religion, politics, relationships, horrible relationships with crazy females. You know what I mean? Many of you guys can relate, always trying to promote love and respect, that there are good women out there and they need love as well. And trying to get females who are in this nexus state as well as males to transcend to a higher level, because we don't want to stay in the male and female state. Like on my channel, I preach about there's women, men, males, females, and thotty hotties and D-boys. And it's a mental it's a mental gap, because we have a lot of females that think they're women, but they conduct themselves like females. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of males that think they're men, but they conduct themselves like males. And then there's no need to talk about the ones beneath that. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much on my page, you're going to get it real. I talk about, the stealthy counterfeit, females posing to be women. Then you go out with them and they try to take, advantage of your pocketbook. You know what I mean? They come off as this virtuous church woman, but then she can't wait to get home and do crazy. You know what I mean? So just not really living the way she should. But, at the end of the day, we're all humans, and it's all about just transcending to another level so that we can leave something for our children and for the younger ones coming up behind us. And we just want to push that energy forward for the most part. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you definitely push me. I want to bring you back on another episode. And then, so I don't know if you ever saw it, but I actually did a MGTOW video. And
okay.
I in the future, when I make my red pill there's a movie out there called the Red Pill Movie, and it's all about the MGTOWs and the honey badgers and the supposed anti-feminists, but then they also talk about how crazy the feminists get too. But I want to remake that movie because I don't think that documentary was done very well. And when I do, you have to be on it. I do want to bring you back for another relationship episode, because I would love to discuss gender roles with you and to talk about male-female alchemy and why what you're talking about is so important, not just for ourselves spiritually, sexually, health-wise, financially, but then also talk about like the repercussions that living the other way has, because I have them. Like I have 17 years of a repercussion. So
I hear you on that.
I mean, I love her, but I mean,
right. I hear you. Yep. They're always a blessing. Yeah.
I hate her. But I do want to set a better example for her. And so, yeah, I mean, the way that you talk about alchemy and male-female energy, it is so inspiring. It's hard to listen to sometimes, but it's necessary to listen to. So I want to bring you back for that.
Absolutely.
But, likewise, you also have a ton of videos about what's going on with the election. You've been very good about following quality journalism, and you've been reporting the past, basically since election, you've been reporting on it every night. You've got great videos. I listen to you every day. Why don't you go ahead and just tell everyone what news sources you follow and why you trust them?
Well, okay. So Fox, we know Fox is a little bit biased. They was acting a little weird, but I think with Fox, there are people within Fox that are fighting against the corporate heads. You know what I'm saying? So you got like the Tuckers, your Laura Ingrams, your Hannitys, and there's another guy, I can't think of his name, but then you have the other people on the left side that are pushing out misinformation. So yeah, I would look at Fox, but look at them kind of side eye a little bit. You know what I mean? We know that the media is definitely in cahoots with pushing Biden in. We need to be very, very careful with that. I also check out Omni as well. They're I think they're a website that they are also reporting on. I think I'm saying it right. They're also reporting on the election as well. There are some other ones out there that it's kind of escaping my name because there's, I've been a little bit busy, but for the most part, I have been finding out new information about what's been going on and what's been going on behind the scenes as well. So, yeah, I don't want to misquote anything, because people do like to fact check you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just stay in my lane. But yeah, so I did find out that they did a thorough investigation, and the software that was used was known as Hammer and Scorecard. I just found that out, and I believe that that came from the White House as well. And basically that software was designed to like spy on people, but they also tweaked it to rig elections as well, not just in other countries, but they geared it towards the U.S. as well, because we know that they have to try to get Biden in the House because of what he stands for and the agenda that he's going to be pushing forward. I mean, like even right now, Biden is talking about locking people down. It's all about COVID, COVID, COVID. You know what I'm saying? But last I checked, the president-elect doesn't have a seat. It's made up. You're not either the president or you're not the president. So why is he talking about transitioning this new office and getting budgets? You're not the president yet. We're still going through. Say what? What'd you say?
Oh, I was laughing.
Yeah, we're still dealing with legalities, and Trump has a valid point. There are a lot of states that had a lot of skewed information with the votes. We saw the videos. We saw people pissing on the Trump ballots. We saw them tearing them up, setting them on fire. We saw them doing all kind of stuff. They were keeping the Republicans out, literally threatening them with the authorities. Even though I think some of the people that were complicit with it, they didn't know, because they want to keep their jobs. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to go against the grain. And I mean, as you can see, this was a well thought out plan, horribly executed, but a well thought out plan.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really understand why they're trying to get Trump out of the office. Trump wasn't supposed to get in the first term. It was supposed to be Hillary, but Trump won the electoral votes.
Oh yeah.
And so he got in, because we know that Hillary, I mean, I don't know if people know her, but I've done research on Hillary. She's not a good person.
No,
she's not a good person. I mean, she called black men super predators. She's all over the place. She's involved with a lot of debauchery. We saw the emails.
Yes.
We know about Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Yes, we do.
We know about Pizzagate's frazzle drip.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, she said her mentor and her most famous woman was Margaret Sanger, right? She was responsible for the Negro Project, which was to eradicate Negroes. She said we was weeds and we need to be chopped down like weeds. That's what Hillary. Right. She looked up to Margaret Sanger. Yep. Right. And Bill Gates' daddy worked with Margaret Sanger. So we know what Bill Gates is about. He's about getting rid of people, and we know what he's been doing in Africa with all the kids with autisms and, growing up with 8 toes and stuff like that and passing away. He has a lot of lawsuits, but no one talks about that. No. You know what I'm saying? So, but now, who was it that came up out the blue? Bill Gates. I look forward to working with the Biden and Kamala Harris. We're working on a vaccine. We don't want your vaccines, Bill Gates. We know what you're about. You can keep and he does have a vaccine, but it's not a vaccine. It's probably something else, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So we know that these entities that are in this cabal, they when I say cabal, I'm talking about these secret societies. The people that know what the agenda is, the Luciferians. You know what I mean? Because even though we're talking about things from a secular perspective, we have to keep in mind the biblical side of things as well. Everything is coming to pass that the scriptures talk about. You know what I'm saying? And no, I'm not no Christian. I'm not no Christian. Hold up. Let me lay hands and I got praise Jesus.
Wow.
But no, somebody sow a seed. Sow a seed right now. I got a word from God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? And truth be told, a lot of them pastors, they was pushing their people to vote for Biden too, believe it or not, because they down with the get down as well. Right. Because a lot of pastors take their orders from the Vatican, believe it or not. The government regulates what pastors can preach. Okay, y'all don't know that because churches are 501c3s and they're nonprofits. That means silent consent to the government. That's what that means. Yeah. So they can't talk on certain topics. They can only talk on looking for pie in the sky, and your husband is over there and your wife's over there and give me your money and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But right now, people, we have to get ready. We need to stand with our chief and commander Trump, because Trump is standing as an intercessor for these foreign entities that want to come in and destabilize America. Absolutely. When Trump, he gave his speech before the UN, he said, "You're not going to be raping America no more. We're going to be, we pretty much, we did all our deals. We were in horrible deals with China. We did it. He said America first.
That's right.
And we know America is little sister to Europe. We know that. So the big wigs, the small hats in Europe, they're the ones that really shape and run this country. And they've been putting their presidents in these seats, and they just get these amendments, they sign them and pass them along. Obama didn't do nothing for Negroes. He did nothing for Negroes, but they got us because he was brown. See how that works? And truth be told, they probably rigged his election too.
You know what? Now, you know what? Sidney Powell, the attorney, it was funny. I was at AmpFest in Miami at the Trump Hotel, and General Flynn's brother, I believe his name was Joe Flynn. He was one of the keynote speakers on the first day that I was there. He gave an amazing speech, and he talked about Sidney Powell before I knew who Sidney Powell was. And apparently she is like a pit bull attorney. She just seems like an old grandma, but she's not. She's the fiercest of the fierce. And I'm so glad she's on the team right now. And even she says that, it's like, well, damn, we know. See, the thing is about Bernie Sanders, as much as I hate these fucking commies, as much as I hate them, okay, we know that he fucking beat Hillary in 2016. What happened? I know he beat Joe Biden in 2020. What happened?
Yeah.
These people are so cold, they're stealing from each other. Yeah,
exactly. Democrats, who's going to represent the DNC? Well, let's run it through, this software package, and then boom, Hillary or Joe. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, guys, because there are Democrats that are not complicit with their agenda. I really believe that. I believe that there are good people out there, and they're not going to play ball. So we got to get our person in. So let's tweak it and get, okay, now it's Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden can't even talk properly. Joe Biden was wearing a wire. He was wearing a wire during one of his debates. People didn't see that.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. So at the same time, why is this guy really? He's going to be the leader of the free world, but his laptop got found, his son. They in all kind of debauchery, but yet the media did a good job of smothering all this crap out. And now these idiots voted him into office.
Is this one of your guys?
Yeah. Wait, what's up, Louisiana? Thanks for coming through, fam.
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Louisiana.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolute insanity right now. We as patriots, we have to be super careful about where we're getting our information, because there's so much you're not on social media, but I'm on it every day. Yeah. And, we have to be careful about who we listen to. So I think pretty much, I heard something like Fox News has lost 50,000 audio. What's the word I'm looking for?
Viewership rating.
Yeah, like 50,000 a day since the election. So, I mean, it's only going to get worse. So that gives opportunity for people like us to continue being the news, because we are the news right now. And what I love about you is you check your receipts. So, what are your predictions for the election right now? Because you have some good ones, and I think we're pretty much on the same page. But let me hear what your predictions are right now.
Well, in my opinion, I believe Trump already won the election. I think he already won it. I think right now he's just exposing the deep state. That's what he's doing. Everything that's coming out, he's showing that they're cheating, voter fraud. They are they're willing to do anything. They don't even care if they're breaking the law. So right now, Trump is letting it be known that, look, these people are cheaters, and I'm showing you this. But because many of us have Stockholm syndrome, we're not really buying it. But I believe Trump already won. He was winning by such a huge lead, and then overnight, Tuesday going into Wednesday, I believe it was Wednesday, things changed. Now he's losing. So, and Trump didn't even move from 213 to 214 electoral votes, while Joe Biden went up to like 290.
Right.
So it's like, what the heck happened? Well, we know what happened because it all came out. We're in China. They said they found I think it was at the post office.
The packages from China.
Yeah, China had packages, and then in Atlanta, Georgia, China had voting ballots.
Mm-hmm.
They found them. So it's just like, what the heck? Because China has a vested interest as well, because Joe Biden's connections. It's communism.
Right.
It's communism. The global agenda is communism, which is a dictator. Who's a dictator? That dictator's coming. But they need to do the groundwork. They need to do the prep work at all the kinks before they get people indoctrinated with RFID chips, vaccines, tracking you. That's what's coming. They want to be able to monitor you, tax you. If you get out of line, they're going to shut everything off. Because there's a lot of money being made without being taxed. That means they're not making money. So they want to make sure that they can control and regulate the masses, because you are the most valuable resource on the planet. The human being is. Without you, you can't fish for other resources. So, I believe Trump already won. He's going to win. He just has to go through other avenues now, because, they're just continuing with the president-elect as it's business as usual. Joe Biden's not a president. What are you guys doing? This is dumb. And where's Kamala Harris at? Now she don't want to be black. She want to be Indian. So it's like, come on, man. They play this again. And Joe Biden, I want to lock him up. COVID-19, dude. The COVID-19 is not out here wiping people out. I'm not saying it's not wiping senior citizens out because their immune system. I'm saying the most you'll get is a sneezy, a headache, maybe runny nose. Take vitamin C, sweat it out, go to the gym, you'll be fine. But I don't see it out here wiping people out. This is not the T virus off of Resident Evil. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do believe they have something more diabolical. I do believe that.
Scares me. That is what scares me, my friend. And I'm gonna talk real talk with you, because I feel like, okay, and I'm not gonna get emotional here, but I really do admire you. I respect you. I wish you were my older brother. I really do. But let's talk sci-fi for just a minute.
Sure.
It seems like every freaking Black Mirror episode, I remember in the 90s, they did a remake of The Outer Limits. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So there was an episode with an amazing actor, one of my favorites from Starship Troopers, Clancy Brown. I think you might know who he is. Yeah. He's been in a ton of movies. They did a remake episode of that, and they talked about the nanobots. Yeah. And the nanobots were these this injection that you got to basically be like Wolverine, where your body would just rejuvenate.
Yeah.
And when I hear about Bill Gates, who filmed his like Google glasses or whatever commercials, lens commercials with frickin' Marina Abramovic, the Serbian communist witch. Okay. When he, I was like, okay, we can't trust no kind of vaccine that's coming from him. He's not a medical expert. He's never been a medical expert.
Right.
We already know this is the mark of the beast. Why the fuck is anyone listening to this guy? It is ridiculous. And it's just like, when you, especially, I don't want to get into the transhumanism, but I think that a lot of these sci-fi geeks, Silicon Valley, they really believe in this.
Oh, yeah.
They want to turn us into Cylons.
It's real. Oh, yeah.
Hashtag Battlestar Galactica.
Right.
Commander and comma.
Right. Exactly. It's real. It's real. There are people that really believe in, they want to integrate man with machine. I mean, they're already doing it. We just don't hear about it. Hey, what's up, Brandon Smith? You know what I'm saying? So right now, like, in my opinion, when you talk about the mark of the beast, the scriptures, it talks about charagma. That means a cutting of the skin. It talks about you either have it in your forehead, which to me is a thought process, or right between the index or the thumb finger on the right hand, I believe. So I believe it's the right hand. So it's going to be this one world currency that links everyone together. Now, yes, we know that it'll link our internet, 5G, bank accounts. You can just walk past. It'll debit you, credit you, whatever the case may be. But I believe it also has the ability to manipulate the human genome as well. That's what I believe. I believe that there are certain frequencies There are certain nanobots, whatever, that can be released. Hell, it could probably have a virus in it. Who knows? We don't know. You know what I mean? But we do know that they literally can what's the word I'm looking for? They can alter a person's genome by just changing the frequency of the heartbeat. People don't know that. Everything has a frequency. Everything in life. Okay, you got to find out the speed, inverse that. You know what I'm saying? You get the frequency. If you can somehow tweak that, then people can act different. Now, remember down in Florida, there was a guy who something happened to him and he started biting. He started eating people. Cannibalism. You remember hearing about that a few years ago?
That was the bath salts thing.
That say what?
That was the bath salts.
The bath salts. Oh, okay. I didn't hear about. Please explain.
Well, the bath salts were like literally a hygiene product that they were sniffing.
Okay.
What did you hear?
Oh, I just heard that he was just eating people, biting the shit out of people.
Yeah. It was, I don't know if it's some weird kind of like voodoo thing or if it's just some sort of like chemical reaction that happens in the brain. I guess it gets them high or whatever, but that was a problem for a while. But yeah, that does concern me because what that showed me was that people really can be zombies. We really honestly can have the Walking Dead. And again, coming back to sci-fi, like you said, Resident Evil, I don't know if this was just the test run and now China's like, oh, okay, that was just the cold and the flu.
Yeah,
tell you what else I got.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
So you know, I'm at the point. I don't want this to sound like hate speech, but it's time to eradicate communism in this world once and for all. And I don't mean that. I don't know what it would take for that to happen. But communism has been trying to seep its way into this country for decades. It started with the fucking hippies, okay? In the 80s, you know, we had the issue with Gorbachev, okay? In the 90s, it seeped its way into the colleges because all the hippies from the 70s turned 40, okay? And so they started getting into the colleges and, of course, into media. And then, you know, in the 90s, you know, we were pretty cool for a while, but we were satiated. And that's when the debauchery started to seep in. I feel like maybe it started a long time ago, but I feel like the 90s got even more debaucherous. And I want you to hold on to the thought about the 90s, okay? Hold on to that.
Sure.
Okay? Marinate on that because I'm going to come back to it when I'm done.
Okay.
You know, and in the 2000s, you know, we had George W. Bush, which made us all hate Republicans for no reason.
Right.
And then here comes Barack Obama. Okay. Right. So we were conditioned to hate the Bushes, and they are corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, evil oil family.
That for another time.
Yeah.
And then we went on the opposite. We're like, oh yeah, we're humanitarians. We're good people. And we got sucked into Barack Obama in the 2000s. And now we're left with a complete mess and we're left with generations that are completely screwed in the head.
Yeah.
Now, remember I said to keep thinking about the 90s for a second?
Yeah.
Now, one of the points that we wanted to go over was why you feel Black Americans are so gullible to the Democratic agenda. Can you start with the 90s?
Well, in my opinion, because I'm a Gen X and I believe you're probably a Gen X too, maybe. But yeah, so in the 90s, I was in my teenage year. So me personally, I believe that it was just passed down from our parents, you know, broken homes, you know, a lot of matriarchal energy. It wasn't a healthy balance. You know, there's nothing wrong with matriarchal energy, but it needs to be balanced with patriarchal energy as well. So for me, I was raised in a woman family. It's only like 2 boys. So I saw that and I always regurgitated whatever it was my mother or my grandmother or my you know, my auntie said. Not to mention, I'm out here fighting with being a male and a Black male trying to go through this earth. You know what I mean? So for me, I believe that the 90s, you know, people were in my generation sexually experimenting, you know, further, you know, tearing themselves up. further tearing themselves up mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, having babies. It does happen when you play, when you play in a sack, babies are liable to come out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, you're faced with life quicker, the responsibilities of being a parent quicker than you should be. Babies having babies, fathers having, you know what I'm saying? And we're not really ready for that kind of stuff. And then we're still learning, not to mention we're being inundated with being free, you want to do what thou wilt, marriage. Oh, you don't need, marriage. No. Go to school, do this, do that. Not really understanding that it's going to have consequences in the years to come.
Yeah.
So for me, as far as I'm concerned, being in the 90s, it was cool. And then you had the Rodney King thing. So we saw a lot of racial tension. Being a Democrat. It's just in our best interest, not to mention Lyndon Baines Johnson. Give them a little of what they need. We'll have them voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And that's exactly what they did. They got JFK out the way. Because JFK was a former Trump, if you will. It's all about America. It's all about backing up with the gold and silver standard. They had to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? And then they brought in Lyndon Baines. We were integrated through Martin Luther King. And every time we get out of pocket, what's the first thing they say? What about Martin Luther King? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, I'm not saying JFK was perfect, but JFK cared about the American people. You know what I'm saying? And he was against communism.
Yes, he was.
Because Martin Luther King was a communist, believe it or not. Many people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. Anyway, by the way, one little fun fact about me, I collect a lot of history.
I see.
This magazine's from 1965.
Oh,
this
great.
That's great. This is history here, but yeah, go ahead.
That is history. Yeah, I think that they purposely divided us through feminism and mass incarceration, flooding in the crack epidemic, to fund the war. And then when they didn't have anything, they didn't know what to do with Negroes who were messed up, right? So now Joe Biden comes in with the crime bill, 93. He proposes that because we got all these black criminals and they're going to smack us. They're going to rape our daughters and this and that. The black mandingo, we got to lock them up. They're crazy. They're unproductive. And even he said, so what, we failed them. He said that. So what, we failed them. Go back and look at Joe Biden's speech to the Senate on the crime bill. I don't even know if people even did that. I don't even know. Joe Biden gave speeches at Robert Byrd, a known Klansman. And he said that was his friend and his mentor. What you taking advice from a Klansman for? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he said the Negroes we need to take them back to the wild. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. So it wasn't no surprise to me to see Joe Biden come with the crime bill to pretty much get black men over little petty misdemeanors, off the streets, to which Bill Clinton signed into the 94. And then Kamala Harris, she made a living locking black men up. You know what I'm saying? It was so bad with her, they had to overturn many of her cases because they were like, you're doing a little bit too much, bro. Okay. You know what I mean? Well, you must have some problems here with, you know what I mean? So, but, at the end of the day, the 90s was a very pivotal, time for us because we were growing up into young people. And if we didn't have a strong foundation, we were going to carry that over into adulthood. I know I did because I had the shutters on my eyes until I pretty much started seeing what was going on with the church and with the people, and me personally, I don't like when people insult my intelligence. That's one thing I can't stand. And that's when my red pill began for me, around my 20, you know what I mean? So yeah. How about for you? As far as the 90s?
The 90s was a time, I'm going to give you, and we're going to throw a couple of male-female things in there, but for the most part, I thought the 90s was fun. The 90s was the last era before everyone was politically correct.
Oh, okay. I would agree.
But at the same time, it was the setup for the next generation to become as debaucherous as you say. It was and it's funny. A lot of people attack Cardi B because of her song WAP, which is a pretty disgusting freaking song.
For a wife, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in her mind, she's still a stripper. So I mean,
know. Right.
Once a stripper, always no. Just kidding. I'm such an asshole. Trust me. And I am in no position to talk. Trust me, but that's another show. Anyway,
I hear that.
You know, the 90s was the era of the goddess mentality.
The queen, yeah.
It was the era of TLC, which did nothing but promote sex.
R. Kelly, yep.
Little girls.
Yep.
It was the era of Salt and Pepper a little bit, but Britney Spears, who did nothing but promote sexuality to little girls.
Madonna, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I never liked Aaliyah. Don't hate me. I never liked Aaliyah because, I mean, all she did was sing about sex. And, you know, she was like the same age as me. You know what I mean? So,
right.
It was the era of Faces of Death. And when kids started watching some really weird shit.
Yeah.
It was the era of pornography and
internet.
And when more and more children had access to it because of computers. And if you're smart enough to know how to delete the history, you can actually get away with it in the 90s. It was still the era of pornography tapes and DVDs. So we still had access to that. It was the era of, and I know like gangster rap kind of started well before the 90s, but it got really marketable in the 90s.
It did.
So it didn't start in the 90s, but it got marketable in the 90s. And that really shifted, in my opinion, it shifted everyone's attention to basically being like a modern day gangster. And it's funny because the Italians get worshipped for it. Like it's cool when the Italians do it, but it's not cool when anyone else does it.
Well,
you know? No one ever talks about all of the freaking. Sorry, 1 second.
No, you're okay.
No one ever talks about Russians or Masood gangsters or the Tongs. No one ever talks about the Yakuza, but somehow the blacks are the only ones who are gang members in this country, which I think is kind of fucked up.
Right.
I think that the 90s was the era of it was when the reality show, I remember, you're old enough to remember The Real World,
Ricky Lake,
Road Rules.
Yeah.
So it was the era it was the very beginning of the mass indoctrination that everyone can be a star. Nobody has to face any consequences. You never have to face an account or be accountable for the things that you do. And it was a real setup for, being sexually expressive. And that was like being creative and like, it's when like being gay or being bisexual started being cool, so that manipulated a lot of young girls' minds, including myself, to experiment in ways that we never would have otherwise. So the 90s was awesome. And I miss the days like that are pre-cell phone.
Yeah, the beepers.
But now, above any other time, I see how detrimental it was. It made America so completely permissive that once things started to catch fire, we can't stop it. Yeah.
I totally agree. The 90s was a good year. Good music. The internet came out in 94, 95.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember I had a buddy, he had a laptop, he had a desktop, and he was getting all kind of crazy files. I was just like, dude, people doing all kind of strange stuff with animals. I'm just like, what is going on? But at the same time, it was a time where people were becoming more sexual, like Gen X, you know what I'm saying? Sexually experimentative. I knew a girl that got pregnant in 6th grade, but she was built like a woman. You know what I'm saying? And the dude that got her pregnant he got held back like 3 times. He's supposed to be a freshman. We were in 6th grade. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my God.
Yeah, and she got, man, her mama beat her ass all up and down the street. And she had like 4 younger siblings. You know what I mean? So you know, the girls were experimenting in elementary, you know. So I was just like, wow, it was crazy. Definitely a crazy time. But as I progressed through the late 90s and I hit, you know, junior high, high school, then yeah, life began to, you know, come very, very fast. Having more sex, you know, being able to be a worker, you know what I'm saying, having a car, doing whatever you want to do. And that was laying down the groundwork for where we're at today. And that's why I think a lot of us are in the condition we're in. But we can change because there's hope. You just got to want to change for yourself, you know?
And that's one of the things that, like, as a, I don't want to, I know what term you like to use. I used it with you on the phone. I'm not going to say it out loud, but
what are you talking about? Okay.
You know, back when I was like, you know, a party girl.
You was wild. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was, and my ragers, they all know about me.
Mm-hmm.
I did a really funny video about a dildo, which was totally about feminism. It was about feminism.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. But I basically confessed everything back then. So I'll send it to you so you can watch it because there's no more to discuss.
Okay.
But you know, the feminism, I think that is a lot of why people hate Trump. You know, people. Yeah. I mean, you can get it from any angle. You know, we can talk about why blacks are gullible. We could talk about why Latinos are gullible. We could talk about why women are gullible. But at the end of the day, what is it that you really love about Donald Trump? Because I mean, people on my channel, they know what I love about Donald Trump. What do you love about Donald Trump?
I like his fight. I like his fighting spirit. He's not folding. You know, they're literally trying to demasculate him. They're trying to castrate him, and they're trying to get him to fold. One of the most powerful men on the planet.
Yep.
And if they can accomplish that, then what hope is there for guys lesser than him that are, you know, men? You know what I'm saying? And so they're trying to make an example of him. And Donald Trump, to me, he has a fighting spirit. He doesn't take shit off nobody. And that's what I like. I like that about him. He lets his tongue go. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. And he's always going to think about the bottom line. America's a corporation. Okay. It's one of the best places to be on the, you know, right now, we think we have it rough. No, go to Africa.
Yeah.
They just had the government turn on the Nigerians. They shut the streetlights off, told the military to kill the protesters who were fighting against oppression. They killed 78. Many got wounded to take the fight out of them. And we think we got it rough over here. No. People are scared to come. The women were scared to come out because the military is corrupt. They would have been raped. People with nice cars. They would have been pulled out, held by ransom. And we think we got it rough over here. No. Go to Africa. Go to Libya, slave trade under Hillary and Obama. Go there. You know, go to a Muslim place where they, you know what I'm saying, do stuff that, you know, we're like, oh, okay, y'all take a limited card.
That's why I never understood all these, like, you know, this support. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you good. You good.
I never understood all this support for, like, Islam here because, like, don't these liberals understand that all you're gay, all you're bisexual, all you're having babies out of wedlock, all the crazy stealing and crazy shit that you do, if you lived in a Muslim country, your ass would be done.
Yeah. It'd be over.
It's a wrap. You know what I mean?
Right. But we're oppressed.
I never understood the support for that agenda, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm like, man, they throw chicks off cliffs. They chop heads off. I remember, not that I don't condone none of that stuff, all right? No hate. But I remember my neighbor was Kenyan. He was living next door to me. And his wife, she was just getting out of pocket and stuff. And he's Nigerian. No, he's Nigerian. I'm sorry, they're Nigerian. And she was just, you know, doing all kind of crazy stuff. He was like, man, don't you know we was back home, I locked my door, I'd take my bed off and beat her. I said, what? I said, that's too much. He said, no. He said, here in America, she doing what she's doing because she can call the cops and get me in trouble. But back home, she can't do that. I'm like, so we got it kind of good over here. You know what I'm saying? In other countries, they kill their wives, they kill their husbands, they kill their kids. They do all kind of crazy stuff. So, you know, I think we need to count our blessings over here. We need to count our blessings, you know. And Trump, Trump is trying to keep America liberty and freedom because we got people trying to take us over. They're literally trying to take us over, and they're being very subtle with it. They're being very subtle, and Trump sees it. Even Trump came out today and said no investing in Chinese companies that support their Chinese military. I don't know if you saw that because, they're in tech.
I did.
Yeah, because, we're just fattening up their pockets. He's like, no, America first. And they don't like that. So I like Trump's fight. I like his tenacity. And I like that he actually cares about the people despite what the media says. And I'm a black man, a so-called black man, but I'm a brother. And I see it. And I'm like, dude, this dude is standing with us. What's wrong with y'all? You talking about giving us money. Why y'all not trying to vote him in the White House? You think Biden's going to give us some money? No. You think Kamala? No. What are y'all talking about? You might as well kiss it all goodbye. And even Ice Cube said he had Trump donate. He pledged $1 trillion. Mm-hmm. Trump. But he said, you can kiss that goodbye. If these two schmucks get in, you can kiss it goodbye. Absolutely. So, I mean, even Biden said it's going to be a dark end of the year. What? A dark Christmas?
He said a dark winter.
Yeah, right.
And was it you? I don't know if it was you or someone else who was a gamer, and there's I guess a video game or something called Dark Winter.
Else. Yeah.
You?
No, not me. It's probably somebody else.
Okay, so I watched a video the other night. I'll put it in the show notes. And it was talking about why it's so alarming. And this is a gamer because the Dark Winter is basically that whole Resident Evil lockdown type of video game. So like to even use those same words was like, whoa, like, man, I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean?
They are trying to usher in a new age. That's what Obama talked, dawn of a new age. Bush, dawn of a new age. It's coming. What's that mean? We got to transition to the fourth industrial revolution. What is that? Robotics, automation. There are going to be so many people who are going to be out of jobs. Trump trying to bring the jobs back. Right. Yo, they about to bring robots in to replace. They got robots making hamburgers.
They do. Yep.
Pouring drinks and giving it to you too. And so it's just like they don't. But people like me, I got engineering degrees. I'm gonna come in and fix the robots. You know what I'm saying? So I was wise when I picked my undergrad and grad degree. So it's like people need to understand what's going on. They fed us such bullshit about Trump. Such bullshit. This shouldn't even been close. But people voted for Biden because they believe the fake news. And it's like Trump is trying to bring jobs back. He said he's gonna give you a vaccination and old people get it first. I mean, what's wrong with that? And it's free. Of all things. Bill Gates gonna tax you out the ass. So it's just like, and he's going to put a microchip in you too to make sure you got the vaccination. He said, how do we know if you got the vaccination, you anti-vaxxers? He calls people who don't like vaccinations anti-vaxxers. How do we know? Well, we're going to mark you with a nano tattoo. That's how we know you've been chipped. I believe it's called ID 2020.
The nanobots.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, black outer limits.
I'm telling you, man. And this cat Bill Gates, he's something else, man. He is part of that cabal. He's trying to usher in all this stuff, and they have an agenda. They have a Luciferian agenda. Okay, they got to prep the world for what's to come. We all know about the beast and all this kind of stuff in the Bible. They got to do the groundwork. Right now, they're trying to lay down the groundwork. There's a guy standing in the way. That's Trump. Trump's not willing to sell out his people. When Trump said, and this is what got me with Trump, he said, I'm not letting you vaccinate the American people. I said, I like this guy. Because Trump could have easily said, Fauci and Gates, go ahead and get him. Right. Okay, thanks. But what did Trump do? He kicked Gates out, and he just pretty much is done with Fauci. So it's like, dude, Gates is white, black, it don't matter. Gates, they trying to depopulate you to 500 million. Go look at the Georgia Guidestones. That is the Luciferian holy commandments. You understand? They're real commandments. Laws down in Georgia called the Georgia Guidestones. The first one is depopulate the earth to 500 million. How the hell you gonna do that? Pharmacia, pharmaceuticals, vaccines. And they have. And yes, the coronavirus was developed here in the U.S. at Prize Bite, And and I also heard at Fort Detrick where they develop AIDS as well. You can find the patents on. I did a video on the patent. YouTube blocked it. They blocked it.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't want that information getting out. So yeah, this is the night.
If you're interested, if there's a way that I could host it on my website, because I have a website, redpillrage.net, and it's a lecture that you put together?
It was the video I did. I'll try to scour through my archives, but yeah, yep.
Okay, so if you're interested, I can post it. I can post the video on my website, or I can post it as a podcast too. So just offering that to you.
That's what's up. Okay, cool. Because I've been getting strikes. YouTube strike my channel. They don't play around. They be like, this Negro strike. Then I'll be in purgatory for 2 weeks. I'll be like, YouTube. So
don't take it personally, because they're getting everybody, every big MAGA star and every little conservative, but from the top to the bottom, the popular, non-popular, everyone is getting losing followers, even on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all the platforms. So I mean, be flattered, okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been I've had girls flag my videos. I don't like what this guy talks about. He's women bashing. I'm like, I'm not women. What are you talking about? I never said I hate women. I never said I didn't. No, I have the utmost respect for women. They are amazing. They're beautiful when they're on the right frequency. But when they're not, they are hell on wheels. It's like, and dudes too, But it's like, women are amazing. We need more of them, so we can, show the young ones how to all that. Like, we need elder men so we can prepare the young ones to be good husbands, good fathers, because I'm marriage minded. I'm all about marriage. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be married, you know what I mean? But because I know the nuclear family is what even Black Lives Matter, they took that off their page. They wanted to destroy the nuclear family. I was like, what you mean destroy it? We are here to disrupt the nuclear family. Any patriarch. It's like, what? Who says that? I was just like, oh, okay. And then they did damage control on their page, and they, because people were calling them out on it. But I did a video on it. But look, at the end of the day, we need each other. Masculine energy, feminine energy, they're equivalent. Not equal, but they're equivalent. We balance each other. We balance each other. You know what I'm saying? So men need that love and that respect from women, and women need that nourishment and all that pouring into. They need us to pour our energy into them. You know what I'm saying? Because they need it. It's because if they don't get it, things aren't right. They're topsy-turvy. You kind of go through life learning things the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what they don't like.
And we become exactly what the left wants us to be, which is sexy, fierce, ready to fight, so emotionally immature that we lose our shit at the drop of a dime. Anytime we even hear somebody rumored to be racist, we're ready to fight, dominant, aggressive, and disgusting. They want us in that position. They want Black women in that position.
Yes.
Okay. So it's like, cuckold the Black man. Or put him in jail. Or make him gay. And then take the women and turn them into like these these
Amazon
Black
warriors.
Soldiers, these Black soldiers, you know what I mean? And then we can, continue to raise like these emotionally unstable children, and it's like a self-destructive cycle, and that's what I love about when you do talk about relationships, because that alchemy is so important. It's so important. It is. As a woman who's like, let's just say I'll snatch a bitch. Okay. I'm just gonna be honest here.
Okay.
But I'm seeing the long-term effects of having that mentality, and I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it in myself, and I can't stand it in other women. It's unflattering. It's dangerous. Okay. It's dangerous because, there comes a time when we find someone who will hit back, and it could cost women of color their lives. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a poor it's a poor example for the children. And it's not the nurturing spirit, and that being out of alignment. Oh, I'm about to preach. Being out of alignment is the worst thing. It's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And so many people don't understand why they're so angry, why they're so aggressive, why they're so out of control. Antifa, these fucking Antifa people, these people don't understand. Why do you have so much anger in your heart? They don't know. They don't even begin to know where it comes from, because they're living out of alignment with God's plan and with goodness, you know. So
exactly. I totally agree. And just to add on to what you were saying, I think I'm having a brain fart. I believe you were talking about male and female alchemy. You know, the integration. We need each other. We need it. I'm telling you, I'm single. You know, I don't like going to bed alone. It's cold in the mug. My son come get into bed, I'll be like, hey, whatever. You know, but it's like, it'd be nice to have a wife. I was engaged twice. It didn't work out because of the disrespect. I don't tolerate disrespect. I'm not disrespecting you. I ain't beating you. I ain't calling you no B. I'm chivalrous. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't get that. So it's like, okay. But when I figured it out, it's like, no, you understand, like, being submissive. You just want me to submit to you.
Ooh.
And it's like, but it's like when all hell breaks loose, then you gonna be a man. The hot water heater broke. I need some hot. Oh, but we equal. You go fix it. Here's a wrench. There you go. Call me, any help. then you come in like, you got that? What am I going to do with this? It's like, put it right there and gotta get some leverage. Get a breaker bar. You know what I'm saying? No, but it's like,
see, I'm ready. That's the problem.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's like this, and this is one thing I learned as far as being in relationships. When everything's flowing, everything's good, money's coming in. Oh, people, they put on a good little show. But when all hell breaks loose, when things go bad, when ain't no money, people show you their true colors. Mm-hmm. And if you can find a woman or a man that'll stick with you through those times and still find a way to encourage you and build you up, and everything's cool, they ain't tearing you down. Because I've been tore down, and it is not a good feeling. Mm-hmm. I've had females say, I wish the cops would kill you. I had females say, I had a young lady say, well, I wish I would have aborted. You know, I'm like, what are you talking about? He got a better chance of being raised by this couple than you. And I'm just like, oh, but I'm his daddy. That's a horrible thing to say. You know, so it's like the level of insidiousness and hatred that's in people's hearts when they don't get their way is something you just can't explain, but it's there. And I'd rather see it sooner than later. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Before I yoke up with you or whatever. But at the end of the day, to me, women are beautiful when they're in their right mind. Men are beautiful when they're in the right mind. And right now, we're literally in a fight for our salvation. Now, I don't want to say salvation, but for our freedom, because there are outside entities that literally want to come in and overthrow this society. They want to collapse this society, and that's what they're doing right now. They're systematically doing it. They let the coronavirus out. We all know about Event 201, hosted by Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, and they had all the big wigs, Hollywood, Bloomberg's, Bilderberg's, whatever, Chinese dignitaries, East Indian economists, military big wigs. What happened doing the viral simulation? Oh, well, we gotta put this message out. We can't go against the message. So all people think about is a viral pandemic. Anyone going against it, there's going to be consequences. You know what I'm saying? So what happened 2 months later? Coronavirus comes out. Sounds an awfully lot like you guys kind of planned this out. When really we realized what it was to get to mail-in ballots so they can do what they're doing. Uh-huh. And to keep people from going to the actual voting booths. I know I'm all over the place. I can talk about one thing and then talk about multiple things. I apologize. I got so much going through my brain. But at the end of the day, I'm a big advocate for marriage. Fathers loving their daughters the right way, and mothers loving their sons. They're coming together, and so that these kids can be raised, and then they can propagate that energy out. Because generational curses, that's what it was, generational curses. You know, when we are in such debauchery, and then we raise our kids in that environment, and then our kids perpetuate that over and over until you break the curse. You know, you gotta just change your life.
Absolutely.
Not follow. Your daddy was a Rolling Stone. Your mama was out there. Now you out there. Then your daughter's out there. No, somebody got to get married and break the curse. You know what I'm saying? Or change your way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And before we close, I just want to reiterate something to the audience here. You need to take notice of how other countries look at us.
Yep.
And one of the things that I don't remember who it was. I think it was Dinesh D'Souza's documentary, The Trump Card, where he talked to an imam of another country who was formerly ISIS, and he said, you know, Muslims in this country are going to vote for Democrats. Why? He's like, well, that doesn't make sense because Muslim values are very conservative. So you would think they would vote for conservatives. They said, no. Because we want to see the American youth be self-destructive. We want to see them having abortions. We want to see them killing each other. That's in our best interest. That's less work for us.
Yep. Let them tear each other up.
Let's keep all of that in mind. And next time we talk, I want to talk about some of your international travels, because you seem to know a lot about foreign women. You know,
hey, I have that. I just got my passport.
Okay. For another time. Anyway, okay. This was amazing. We're at about an hour right now. Why don't you tell everyone about you talked about your YouTube channel in the beginning. Go ahead and tell everyone to go subscribe.
Sure. Yep. Just go over to GYNUWYNE. GYNUWYNE's my regular page, but you want to get flagged, I got GYNUWYNE 2.0. Feel free to come over, subscribe. You'll see the G. You know what I'm saying? Come on through, kick it with me. I do StreamYards. I go live. You know, I've been on YouTube for about 3 years, so you know the following is growing. And I just appreciate people coming through, kicking it with me. And it's good to be on this platform. Hopefully I won some of you guys over. So come on through. You know, I'm all about saving our country, taking care of these babies. No more pedophiles out there. You know, we gotta love these kids. You know, we gotta make sure we're positive role models. That's what I'm about. You know, I'm all about making sure that we maintain our civil liberties, making sure that everything is working and flowing for us as a nation. You know, anyone that wants to come in, come on in. We'll graft you in. So that's pretty much what my page is about. I may be starting other pages too, but yeah, come on over to GYNUWYNE or GYNUWYNE 2.0. Check me out. Feel free to email me. I don't have a problem talking to some of my subs as well. I do that a lot, so it's all good. I appreciate you know, having me on Red Pill Rage.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. So thank you so much.
Thank you
so much. I have the utmost respect for you. You
appreciate it.
You carry me through my day every day. I listen to you every single day. I really do.
Thank you.
You're kind of my therapy, but then you're kind of like you know, we're all on the same team, you know, and someone like you, the thing that I like about you is someone like you can be the coach. Someone like you could be the boss, you know, and I love seeing leadership in other people. And so I know you're a natural born leader, so you're going to touch a lot of lives.
Yeah, appreciate it. You don't mind me saying one last thing? This isn't about race. This is about the U.S. citizens right now. Okay, I'm not a racist person. I'm not I'm none of those things. You know, I love white people, Asian people, African people. It don't matter to me right now. We need to be concerned about our borders right now. Mm-hmm. There are people that do not want Trump to get back in. This is extremely serious. Look at what they're doing. That means that there are some powerful entities behind the scenes working because of what Trump stands for. You know, do you want chaos to come now, or you want to push it off about 4 years? You know what I'm saying to you? Because we know the next person that gets in, that's going to be their guy. And there are double agents on the Republican side and on the Democratic. I'm an independent, okay? But I stand with conservative values, and Republicans seem to lean towards that. So this is not about race or anything like that. This is about human life. You understand? and they need America to follow in line. America is the last obstacle, and this guy in the White House is standing in the way. That's why they're trying to get him out, because Joe Biden's going to follow suit, and he's going to usher that in. So it's all because black people, we're going to need white people. White people, we're going to need black people. We're going to need, you know, we're going to need to exchange ammunition, rifles, Bowie knives. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what it's about, because I love everybody. Oh, I mean, you got to see my knives and my what you a samurai? But yeah, much love, much love. Thank you for coming through, kicking it with me, kicking it with us. So thank you.
All right, everyone, we're gonna wrap it up, and you guys make sure you go sub on GYNUWYNE and GYNUWYNE 2.2, 2.0.
2.0. Yeah, that's the backup channel. Thank you.
All right.
Salute.